Hello there and welcome back to the channel. Now it's only been 4 days, but we have a new banner already. We have a new divine units, and these divine units are always awesome. This will give us our final element of wind, and it's going to be Theo. Alright, divine Theo. Let's get right into it. So the first thing I'm seeing is the highest attack value we've ever seen. Now this is bloated by a Vigor passive, which is kind of a bummer. It's also kind of par for the course on DPS units, with the exception of the New Year's units we just got. They have over 10,000 without a Vigor passive, and that means they can have a little more potential with like timed Vigor buffs in battle. But this is crazy. The first time we've seen 13. And but the divine units are always built more for support. Her character skill has a 4 hits, that's 350, which is giant, and then it's even bigger when using wind. So it's kind of like a Sino Akeha type DPS here already, even without the support stuff. Increase crit hit damage 20% for 30 seconds. This is timed fatal. This is something we've talked about a lot. This is extremely powerful. And when using wind, buffing the party. So yeah, both of these go to the party. And then, like I said, there's a Vigor passive and the usual for divine units, Elemental Pursuit to the party, 15%. And I might have said it wrong previously, but recent testing has proven to me that your team members only need to be using a wind weapon. They don't have to be of the wind affinity, their costume. And they get a regular pursuit buff if they're using wind. And she probably has to be using wind too, I think. But yeah, 15 is kind of low, but you know, pursuit is so strong. That's pretty awesome actually. And 180 seconds lasts you all throughout. Subjugation wave. Training as a third passive, kind of weird, and just goes to show A3 not totally necessary here. And then a crit rate debris. Now, if you already have 75 crit rate, you throw this debris in, it's not going to bring you to 100. 25 here does not mean 25% of 100, it means 25% of whatever your crit rate is. Keep that in mind. These are not very desirable. I guess it synergizes with her crit damage buff. Okay, let's look at the weapon. Yet again, crit rate to party. Yep, all allies. And 20% is pretty good for this type of skill. And again, I guess it synergizes with the crit damage buff, but usually when you're bringing someone as a support in subjugation, you don't want them using their proficient weapon. So maybe you throw this on someone else, but then you won't get this skill. You won't get the... Oh, never mind. This is reduce enemies attack. This is a ripper anyway. So this is better, like maybe fate board usage, maybe, but the stats look really good. It's pretty high for HP, and that's really high for attack. And the Boon Haste is always good, so if anything, it's a new, good Boon Haste sub with better stats. Alright. I like her a lot. I like all the Divines. I only have 2 of them. I only have Light and Dark, unfortunately. Okay, we have some other weapons on the banner. Let's take a look at this staff. Kind of interesting. Really good attack for a staff. Really good HP. And we have a Wind Crush skill, and then like an EX skill, 100% damage. Oh, it's only 4 hit though, so pretty close. I'm not sure about main hand usage. The only person I can think of is Abyss Saryu, but if you have her weapon already, and they're really similar. Hers also has one of these skills with 100%. I believe it's a 5 hit though. And then the other skill is like a Valiance to party. It has a little higher attack, more like 29, but it has lower HP, something like 30. Yet again, I think this is just another Boon Haste that has better stats. And I'm not sure if you'll find a main hand usage, but possibly. Maybe, like, you know, like I said, maybe you want the crush instead of the Valiance buff. Maybe you have your Valiance taken care of elsewhere in your build, and this can complement a little better in that situation. Okay, then, yeah, a new two-hand sword, same deal. Boon Haste again with better stats. So we have north of 30 HP, it's pretty high, and then really high attack. Pretty common for two-hand swords to have a super high attack like that. And this is like an EX skill, 23-second cooldown, 100% 5 times, but you have to have a two-hand sword user to get the wind buff out of it. And then, yeah, yet another wind crush here. Reduce wind resistance to the enemy. I don't know, like who's a wind two-hand besides ROD Baldy? I don't know. And most likely he's your support unit if you're running him in subjugation, in which case you don't want the proficient weapon on him. I don't know, you tell me. You got any usage for it? I'm seeing just yet another Boon Haste sub with better stats. So, the weapons are not must-haves. Divine Theo is great, just like all of the Divines are. But should you pull? My recommendation is no, because we still have the New Year banner active, and these units are, you know, like I described in my review a few days ago. These units are insane, with 2 of them being groundbreaking meta. Well, really, Sarafa being groundbreaking meta, and then Udiel kind of being the counter to her. And yeah, so I haven't been playing Arena yet, but if you have DQ Rion, apparently he can cleanse Compromised. So if you're coming up against a defense team that has Sarafa and Rion, then their character skills are going to queue at the same time. It's going to be impossible to get Compromised before Sarafa, but after Rion. So yeah, I imagine in that, this has come up, I imagine in that case, you just bring your own Sarafa and make sure you cast later so that your Dauntless out times the enemies. Yeah, so in any case, main point I want to make here is that this banner deserves your gems. You can see here, I still haven't spent my pities. I have a pity to spend on both, and I'm in a difficult situation where I can spend my pities and my stones that I bought to either get an A5 Sarafa with no Udiel because he hasn't dropped, or I pity Udiel, get A4 Sarafa, or I leave Sarafa at A0 and get A4 Udiel, or I keep doing gamble pulls until one of the 2 of them drops, so I can at least have Udiel and still get A5 Sarafa. So kind of a difficult situation to be in. I'm just going to leave it sitting here, and I'm going to leave her rotting at level 1 in my character bank, and until I play the game some more, earn some more gems, and do some more free pulls there. I'm going to keep pulling there. I would love to have Theo, but not only do we have the New Year banner, like I just said, but February always brings anniversary, and we'll get a new round of Fest units who will be yet another step up in power creep, most likely. My recommendation is that you are saving for that if you're done pulling on New Year. So yeah, she's great, and if you actually have the resource, or if you're a mega whale and you're going to spend for her anyway, then go for it. Or maybe you get lucky like community friend Bees, who did 1 gamble, 10 pull, and got her. Otherwise, I say skip it. And that is all I have for this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you in the next one.